Are you sick and tired of these propane fire pits that don't actually keep you warm? I got something for you. In this box here, I've got the Timber Stove Revere. We're going to get this put together, and then we'll test it out. I'm going to give you a full review of this Made in America pellet patio heater. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this. But first, let's get my helper. Got your tools. Camera's rolling. Let's get this Revere Timber Stove out of the box, open it up, and see what we got. Got some information on the stove. And right here, if you buy one of these, there's a QR code. You scan this. It's going to give you all the instructions you need to assemble this stove. So I'm not going to go into detail about how we build this, but I will include a few clips of me and my son putting it together. Perfect. Okay, everything's out of the box. Just make sure before you assemble it, you remove the protective film. And if you're not big on watching videos to put things together, they're also included a paper instruction manual. This manual has got lots of great pictures and a good explanation of each step.
Make sure it's all the way in.
Got this Timber Stove Revere all assembled. I will be honest, it took a little bit longer than I thought. It wasn't that difficult, but to remove all that protective film did take some time. Quick tip for that is to heat it up. It'll come off easier that way. Another tricky part was actually getting this chimney here together. So just plan for probably 2 hours to put this together. You don't want to get in a rush. The next important step when you're setting up your timber stove is to make sure you wipe the entire stove down. They've gone ahead and provided some stainless steel wipes because if you leave fingerprints on here, when this thing heats up, it's going to be baked into the patina and the patina is going to look uneven. So let's get this wiped down. And then we'll get it into its final position and we'll fire up this timber stove. Just going to wipe this down with a towel to make sure it's nice and dry before we lay it up. Can't get this timber stove fired up soon enough. There's a cold front coming through, the wind just started whipping, and it feels like the temperature dropped 10 or 20 degrees. So let's load this up and get it going. Here's your pellet hopper. I think this holds 20 or 25 pounds. I'll put here on the screen what it holds. Pellet hopper seems pretty easy to fill, nice big opening. As far as what kind of pellets to use, just use a high quality heating pellet. No need for those barbecue pellets for this. You get a couple in the lid, you gotta watch that. All right, so we're gonna fire this up and we'll let you know how long this burns for. I'm going to set a timer once we get it going. There's a shut-off key in the back here. You just pull this out and that'll let the pellets fall. When it comes to lighting this timber stove, you've got options. You can either use some of this fire gel, or you can use any fire starter you got, or even just a big torch would probably work fine. Go ahead and shut this door. We'll see what happens. Go ahead and start this timer. I'll let you know when we run out of pellets. "11-minute mark. This timber stove is really starting to throw off some serious heat now. Man, I can't believe the heat that's coming from this. We're going to be able to spend a lot more family time out on my beautiful deck thanks to this timber stove, keeping us warm. My expectations for this Revere were really high, and it's actually exceeding them. The wind is howling out here, but the heat coming off this is incredible. Just want to point out how this temperature control works. Completely counterintuitive. Don't ask me how this is, but it's closed. It's closed right now. Open it up, and you'll see the flame die back. The heat has definitely reduced. Keep that shut. Man, this is a game changer. Got about a third of the pellets left in here still. Let me pull up my timer. Hour and 24 minutes in. So I would say that this So I'd say 2 hours for a hopper is probably a pretty accurate estimate. It's been really windy out here too. I'm not sure how that affects the performance, but I've gotten great heat from this. I'm actually getting burnt standing this close to it. I was probably 10 feet away in the wind, and I could still feel the heat. This is impressive, the radiant heat. I'm getting heat on my whole body. My feet are warm, my head's warm. I feel this heat everywhere. This is heat coming off of this timber stove is intense. Forget about those propane fire pits. This is night and day difference. Do want to point out a few things about this. You want to keep this 3 feet away from any combustible materials. Right here, I'm backed against the chimney, but if this was a wooden wall, you'd want to pull it away from it. Also, watch your top. The overall height of this stove is 7 feet. So make sure you got at least 10-foot ceilings. You can go ahead and shorten this stack pipe on here, but if you decide to shorten the stack, it's going to reduce the efficiency. So just keep that in mind if that's something you have to do. I'd like to encourage you, if you're looking for a heater, to give this timber stove a try. So important to support independent, American-owned small businesses, and that's exactly what this company is. I got to keep moving. I'm getting hot. Wow. But I got a link down below and a discount code. It's going to save you a little bit of money, and it will help support my channel if you use that link. So please check out that link down below if you want to get one of these timber stoves. I can guarantee you're not going to be disappointed with this. The build quality was phenomenal. This thing weighs about 80 pounds. They're not cutting corners. You've probably seen those cheap Chinese knockoff pellet stoves. They're not going to last you. This is going to be a lifetime investment. Like I like to say, buy once, cry once. If you want to buy a cheap stove, you're going to be buying it every 2 or 3 years. And at the end of the day, this timber stove is going to be a much better value. Let me know if you got any questions. Leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Give this video a like. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already. Also, you can head over to Instagram at RustyBBQLamb and give me a follow. Hopper's empty. Just burn out the pellets that are left in the fire pot now. So that 2-hour mark was pretty accurate. Remember, if you want to shut this off early, you've got this key here you can put in, which will stop the pellets from flowing. Right there, made in USA. Hard to find that these days.